by them and to learn Danville initiative. But this is the morning all day, so we're just going to go ahead and talk about and see. Let's see, we've got a lot of people, so I'm actually going to forego individual introductions today because I think we've got a lot going on. But I would encourage you to please mix with one another, make some good friends, catch up with some old friends, and enjoy your time together. It's so nice to be able to get back together again. I'm still getting used to that. So, but I would ask if anybody has any particular updates or celebrations or anything with their business that they would like to share. Anything particular going on? I know there is, and I'm putting you on the spot. Let's see. Anybody online? Hey, Kathy, I can't hear you, but I can see you.
Hello.
Okay, this is Kathy Gorton on the way. Yeah, we're celebrating. We're celebrating What's Your 100 for April and collecting diaper wipes for Healthy Families of Danville, Pennsylvania Community Services, which is one of our supported agencies. So we've extended that through the end of April.
Excellent. So they're collecting, that's United Way, United Way, they're collecting items. And I know it's a little hard to hear, so we'll make sure that you can see this on replay, and then Christian, of course, can send out the information in an email. So thank you for joining us, Kathy, and for sharing. Is there anybody else has anything coming up that they'd like to share this morning? Going once, going twice? Oh, I see that. I bring Christy at the chamber. How are you, Christy?
I'm well. Good morning, everyone. I'm Christy with the Danville, Pennsylvania County Chamber of Commerce. Wanted to let everyone know we have lots of things happening with the chamber. If you go to our website at dpchamber.org, you can see many of those events. This week, we do have a business after hours, and we're excited because we're partnering with Smokestack Theater. So you can only imagine what level that's going to be at. So definitely please join us there. It's from 5:30 to 7. If you have any questions, just call the office and look on our website. And there are many other things. That's
Is
just
that this Thursday from 5:30 to 7?
this Thursday.
This Thursday, okay. Chamber at Smokestack Theater from 5:30 to 7 this week. And if you need more information, visit the Chamber of Commerce website. Is that good?
Yes, that's
I'm gonna
good.
go with yes. All right, anyone else? But thank you, Chrissy. Appreciate you coming and sharing today. Anybody else? Any other announcements or anything you want to share coming up? No? Well, for our end, we have some exciting events going on, but I'm going to tell you about that. What I am going to tell you about is I'm excited to share that for those of you that listen to NPR, Danville was featured on NPR Morning Edition this morning, the national version. So if you haven't had a chance to hear it, we're going to post the links later on today. And so congratulations to our city for once again coming to the top, rising to the top, and people understanding what a beautiful place Danville is. We got a lot of people outside that understand it. We need more people that understand it inside. But you know, sometimes people don't get as excited because they don't feel like they're involved, right? They don't feel like they had a part of it or a piece of it, or a lot of people sometimes feel left behind, which is why we're super excited to be here at Plant Danville. You know, for the next 20 years, everything in the community is being planned right now, and everybody has the opportunity to take part. So with that, I'm going to introduce one of the masterminds of Plant Danville, Renee, or come on up and let's hear more about Plant Danville. All right. I don't know if I can live up to the mastermind. It's kind of our central hub of all activities. So I have my office at City Hall, so number 207. If anybody wants to come by there too. Not as bright and colorful as this, but you're welcome to come visit. This is where our community ambassadors are headquartered, and all of our activities that we provide internally in the storefront, and how we prepare for our community engagements when we're out into the public. Okay, so I'm going to go through a little presentation, and then after that, you can just fire whatever questions you want to ask. Does that work? Unless you got some up front. Okay. So first, let me point you to our plantdanville.org website. If you haven't gone already, please do. It's an amazing website. I'm very proud of our marketing team. I put out cards down at every table as well. You can scan the QR code. It'll take you straight to our website. Take it with you if you don't have time to go with you. That's fine. Portable. You can slip it in your pocket.
And then also take the survey, because the whole point of right now is the big push until the end of May is to make sure we get input on what it is you want to see. What you like, don't like, what you want to see, that type of thing. So what is a comprehensive plan? So by state statute, you're required to have a comprehensive plan that regulates the physical land per locality. That's required. Sounds super boring, but it's required, and that's what we need to do. But what we're trying to do is make sure that we take that boring piece out and try to have everybody's input and make it a little more exciting so we can get that involved. You're required to review it every 5 years. We've done that pretty consistently as internal reviews. And the last one was completely internal because we knew we had so many exciting things coming with the resort, new activities along school fields, Riverside, but everything is moving and changing and we're really excited. So we've kind of put it on hold a little bit. Now we're looking at our big change, completely redoing things. Why does it matter? Well, of course it matters because we need you. Without you, you're Danville. So we need to know what you're. One thing that's important for us to gather it here, not blast it on Facebook or some other forum that we don't gather that information. We can gather it here, we can synthesize that, and we can do something about it. We don't have individuals that are out there trolling Facebook to try to get someone's angry comments or, that type of thing. Even if you have an amazing idea, it's still getting missed because we don't have that capacity and no one doing that. We need to know. We need you to reach out to us here, website, by email, any of that. If it gets to any of those, any of our ambassadors, if it gets to any of those, it's going to go to our team so they can be synthesized and put somewhere as we talk about what's going to happen in this plan. Okay. Why now? Our big thing that we've talked about is because we have so much going on. Everybody knows we have seasons going on. But beyond that, there's huge things happening in Danville itself. We've got downtown booming. Diana just gave us that great compliment today from NPR. Downtown is booming. We've got Drive, Patty Horse, all those commercial areas are really thriving now. We still have some empty spaces, but they're starting to fill up fast. Because we know that this is a big push going on. We've got other plans that are associated with this. That are associated as well, which is one thing I know we talked about a little bit earlier. I have a preservation plan under works. We have a resilience plan under works. We have a master plan for arts and culture happening. We have, there's one more on my desk. Parks. Thank you. And it was in there somewhere. So all of these things are happening. I'm sure you've been inundated with surveys and comment cards, those types of things. Well, the goal of this particular space in Plan Danville is to bring all that information. It goes into the individual specified plans, and then it all gathers up into one big umbrella, and that's us. That's the Plan Danville. The comprehensive plan touches every aspect of the city. So it's going to go to parks, it's going to go to housing, it's going to hit parks. It's recreation, it's connectivity, it's transportation, bus routes, airplane, it's everything. Into this one plan. So what we're looking at, what it does, all that I said, basically to get our standards for development, it can recommend changes to zoning. And it's a way to make sure that what you're looking at, what you want to foresee can actually become a reality. Okay, what it can't do, it doesn't automatically change zoning. It doesn't automatically change the way we do business. It doesn't do anything to raise or lower our taxes. It does not affect those types of things. Those are a different separate process. You can talk about that in the plan. Maybe it's a recommendation of raising or lowering taxes, but it doesn't do that. Oops. Oh, there it is. Okay. Right? No. Or what?
Oh. Doing it. Hold on. Sorry, everyone. Technical difficulties. How do I do this? Oh, there you go. Is that it? Okay. So we're kind of looking at who is leading this particular project. City of Danville is the forefront of this project. Your government leaders, your city employees, your city council, all driving this force for Plan Danville. We've hired the Smith Group. Smith Group is our head team members for this. They're organizing it.
Progressive A&E is behind the little square there, the green. Diamond, they're handling, the focus on our community involvement, synthesizing data, that type of thing. Underneath them, we have applied storytelling, which is doing our branding, which you can see all around, which is our great colorful branding that we have. We have some t-shirts too, we'll talk about here in a little while. Kegra's doing our marketing, which is our website, QR codes, all the information that you have there on the table. And heads up, you're gonna start seeing some billboards, so I'll give you a sneak peek on that. Those are coming out in the next month or two, so this will be another push in our marketing theme. Mass economics, access, retail, and then our next practice partners for our parks and recreation. Sorry, y'all. There we go. All right, so how this whole process works. Again, the city of Danville taking the lead on that. We have a steering committee, which we have 20-some members of. Like you may know, I don't think any of them are in here. We don't have any in here at the moment, but they're throughout the city in different areas as well. For our community ambassadors, some that are city employees, many that are not. So we don't have it front loaded with city employees. We have different members. And our community ambassadors, which is a great team, 6 total of individuals that we have. So we've got Reese in the back and Sonia in the back are here today, and they're going to help us as we go through after this presentation on going through activities and gathering some information. But we have 6 total, and they live in the areas that they have. They have specific zones. You can check them out here that they're responsible for. So when they go out in the community, then they're not going out into somebody else's neighborhood. They're in their lane. They're in their neighborhood. They've been there. They've been there for a long time. They understand the dynamics of the neighborhood, and they can gather that input. There are people that you know and see that are out there. Okay? Especially if they're walking dogs, right? And so there's the separate map that they have there in everyone's zone. So our community ambassador leader is Reese, Maya Totten for zone 1, Bernard Reynolds is our zone 2, Shay Richardson, zone 3 and 4, Sonia in 5, and Felice McWilliams in zone 6. And the whole process that we have here are plan drivers on being able to get one comprehensive set of recommendations. So our plan pillars. So our plan Danville isn't just because it's a planning document. We took the PLA in and made it all a little catchy phrase out of it, what we think is catchy. For plan. So our P are prosperity for people, lifelong learning, advocacy and access, and neighborhoods and networks. So that's kind of how we're going through the process. We fit into those 4 categories, and then that's how we're getting it all together into one document. All right, so our plan pillar of prosperity for the people. We're focusing on quality of life, business, and housing. Local ownerships of home and businesses as well. We're here to assist with those in our economic development team. And of course, we also have all of the other that we've always been there for you in our community development department for housing, businesses, zoning, those types of things. Lifelong learning, a focus on access to the resources and information, workforce and trade skills, learning about how to be healthy, how to make sure you have self-care, those types of things, mental health learning, and bridging connections between those neighborhood centers and the schools. Our advocacy and access, making sure that we can empower the residents of the city of Danville, make sure they have education opportunities, job opportunities, housing opportunities. It's a goal to make sure that we have the people know, yes, they can do this. Yes, you can ask for this. You can be a part of that process. Not just kind of a sit back, woe is me, we can't do it. Come to us, we'll show you how. And then our neighborhoods and networks on how to make it a resilient environment, improve our infrastructure and our connectivity, be it physical with our sidewalks or street connections, or maybe it's a social connection of bridging gaps between neighborhoods. Maybe you're adjacent neighborhoods, but you never really hang out. Getting everybody together and making sure we can have that social connection as well. So to get involved today, we have our ambassadors that you met. You're in the storefront now. You've got the survey that is on your table in front of you. We have plenty of questions online that we try to help you answer ahead of time. You can sign up for our emails, and then we're gonna have a kickoff event. So this is my shameless plug. For May 23rd, we're gonna have a big block party. We're blocking up North Union Street. We're gonna fill it. From 5:30 to 7 on May 23rd. We're going to have food and music and games, activities. We're going to have local businesses come. They're going to be setting up a huge stock sale. We've got apartments from the city of Danville setting up to give you information, Parks and Rec, some other departments. So it's going to be a really lively and huge event. We don't have a rain delay date, but we'll work on that. We're just keeping our fingers crossed that it's not rain at this point, but we're able to get that information out to you. Think that's my last one. Yep, there we go. Yep. All right, and after that, we had put my contact information. Sonia was with me at this last presentation, so I've got her there as well. And connect. So I do have some comprehensive plans here, so you can kind of see what we've been looking at. These are the really open in the this was the plan for 2000. See how incredibly massive that is. Our document there. They've kind of gone from 2020 down to 2030. They've shrunk. So we didn't have quite the input on those. But this one coming, I educated. Hopefully not automated. Digital format, but something this large of input, because we're gonna have so many. We'll have a major comp plan, and then we're gonna have all those other addendums to it as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a large one. All right, what you got? Any questions you have? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Larry, President Board of Directors, you and I'm sure I missed this somewhere in there, but I didn't see anything about assessment of the plan. So as the plan moves forward, is there something built in that says, okay, we're showing how far ahead we're getting, where we need to work? And the second question would be all of these community groups that I would think that they were going to have some assessment on their level too, that would come back to your office. So I didn't see a vehicle for that to happen. Is there something that works for that?
It is. So as we transition probably in the first part of June, heading on into July and August. Work to do. Yes, we'll have an assessment on everything that we've gathered, other departments, and then bring it on.
I might recommend, since you're asking for individual citizens' input, that when you get to that part where you have a plan where you are assessing, you go back to them and say, well, how are we doing?
Would love that. Yes, thank you. Absolutely. And one thing I did fail to mention is on the end of this plan also is an addendum is a strategic plan, which is super important. Let's get that to the end. So not only do we have the plan, there's an addendum of a strategic plan that gives us step-by-step goals, outlooks, things to achieve on how and where we're going to make this plan work, put it into play, and then we can do a little more of that.
Yeah.
I have a question. I saw that you said that you can't really change zoning and taxes, but I saw you there said about quality infrastructure. What things that we the people can do around infrastructure? Because we know that's going to be a big component with all the things that's happening and changing and shifting in the community. So how we the community can influence infrastructure?
We need to know if there is something wrong with your road, your transportation. We need to know if there's something wrong with maybe sewer, water, those types of connections. If you're living somewhere that you don't have those connections and you'd like to see that, let us know. This isn't a promise. Once you give me the information, that doesn't mean suddenly I'm watching my magic wand and it's there. But those are things that can be put in a plan so we can look at it long term. This is a 20-year plan. So there are opportunities for the future. We can't do that if we didn't plan for it to begin with. Big infrastructure changes like that take a lot of money and a lot of planning. Engineering, that type of thing. So we have to start early, where you can even look 10, 20 years down the road to get an info. So yes, please let us know those things. Great. And our zoning changes typically, after a comprehensive plan comes a zoning change. So don't be shocked. That becomes the next thing. But you'll be looking at 2025 before that's even an opportunity. Opportunity for us to go out and change zoning classifications. when we still have a comprehensive planning process. We haven't gotten enough data at one point so that those other changes. Can be effective.
Any questions online, Kirsten? Anybody got anything online?
Yeah, anyone online have a question? You can either type it in the chat or unmute yourself. I guess not. Okay,
Well, great, thank you guys so much. If you have anything else you think about, well, we can stand around and chat later after the meeting. Feel free. I'll be here. I've got my cards up in front of us if I didn't give you one already. And I would love to meet you and answer any questions you got. All right. Thank you.
thank you very much. So, RDA staff can just give a quick update on what we've got going on, and then we'll be free to participate in some of the planned annual activities. Talk to each other, look at what's up in the timeline, and just talk to each other, get to know Renee and her team. Well, if you don't know me, I'm Kirsten. I'm the communications advanced manager for River District Association. So that means I manage, the website and all the communication, newsletters and all that good stuff. So feel free to get in touch with me if you have any questions about any of that stuff. But I just have one quick thing to mention. May coming up is Conservation Month, so we're going to be doing our next morning is on May. We'll be focused on the importance of preservation, historic preservation, buildings, celebrating history in your community. And then we'll also be marketing. We have a civil rights tour and we have a historic architecture tour on our district side. So we're going to be pushing those 2 tours just to celebrate some of the history that we have going on in Danville. For that, just keep an eye on social media. We're going to do some questions about history. So you take the tour to answer the question and be entered into. To get a $25 River District College. Keep your eyes open. That's all I've got for now, but I'll pass it over to Will with any updates he's got from the entrepreneurship side.
So my name's Will Hackman. I work at the River District Association as well, and also just a couple quick things. We have 2 events coming up soon that I just want to put in shameless plug for, and so the first one on June 6th, we're going to have a speaker in our community who's going to be speaking about the entrepreneurial mindset, and that'll be at the Institute for Advancement in Research. It's free. There will be included, but he's someone who was born in rural Mississippi during the era of legal segregation and did not think there would be opportunities for him in his life, but his uncle showed him what entrepreneurship could be for his life, and that opened up his world. And now he's an international speaker. He's a Pulitzer Prize nominated author, and one of his books became Make a Motion Picture, Once Upon a Time We Were Colored. So we're excited to have him. Again, registration is free and it's open. Email me or check out our website if you'd like to register. We're putting out newsletters as well. And then also in June, we have another event that's entrepreneurship focused. It's called the Startup Slam. So that's an opportunity. It's kind of like a poetry slam, but for new business ideas. So it'll be on June 20th at Smoke Back Theater Company. You don't need a business plan, anything official. You can just show up and pitch your idea for 3 minutes. And it's $10 per ticket, which includes food, but whoever gets the most votes at the end of the night gets to take a moment at the door. So there's a cash prize. So you are welcome. So it should be a fun community event. Both of those are that's it for me, Kirsten.
Well, there's one other exciting thing. I'm going to get to it. We have the Ignite pitch competition going on. So we've got 6 people that will be pitching. So at the end of that process, we'll have some, hopefully, we'll have some new businesses opening again downtown from that in the next few months. Anywhere from, we'll see, it could be anywhere from 1 to 6. We just don't know what we're going to get yet. But I wanted to give a shout out, and I forgot something else. The reason that we didn't meet in person last month is because we were a little bored. If you had heard, thank you. We being a community effort, clearly, while RDA, certainly it's a Main Street award, but we would never be able to get it without all the amazing work that's going on downtown, without everybody that's invested in having business here, time here, events here. This has been a long time coming, and we're certainly not done. So I just wanted to give you a big shout out and a thank you to everybody here and pointing us, for making it possible for that event to even happen. So this is where we are now, and how much we have to go, so it's time to thank you. So here's some back to you.
Sean, do you have any updates you're gonna talk about? Sean is,
So my name is Sean Palmer, I'm the director of expansion and design, so I'm the design component of River District Association. But right now, with the design, starting today, we put artwork in some of the buildings on Main Street. So you will see some of the local artwork. So they're gonna hold artwork that's for free. I gotta let them tell you, yeah, so you will see those in the building, some of the belt building, so we go to those 4 windows. Main Street is across from Little Land, so you will see artwork from local artists in those windows. For expansion, and one of the things that we're really thinking about doing is redesigning some of the areas, some of the pocket parks in the North Main area, so be able to look out for that. But another thing that we're doing is, I had never heard of this when I came here, it's called rain art. So rain art is art you don't see until it rains. So we're gonna put some of those little, like, have a nice day, you know, skip along the way at different bus stops in the Main Street area, like the North Main area corridor. So you go to the bus stops in those areas when it's raining, you just see little motivational artwork that we on the sidewalks of those areas.
well, that's it for RDA. If any of you have any updates or things you want to mention to the group, this is a good time to do that. Yeah, any events you have coming up, celebratory news, anything like that. So if anyone has something, even online, if any of you have something to announce, I know some of you announced things at the beginning, but we had a few people trickle in. So feel free to jump on and tell us what you got going on. Or guys. Of course.
I wear a couple of hats. I'm Sarah Latham, I'm president of the Danville Historical Society, but I am also the MC for this week's Project Literacy fundraiser, Electronic Taking Desserts. Jeopardy Thursday at 2 Witches, doors open at 5. The contest starts at 6. If you want to, cheer on any of the 13 teams that will be competing in a spelling contest. There will be the everything with the kitchen sink food truck there, and of course libations, alcoholic and non-alcoholic from 2 Witches. And it's just a lot of fun and tests your spelling skills against our team players.
Great, thank you. Anyone else have any announcements? Okay, the White Rock community, which is located in North Danville, along Locust Lane area, where Compassion Church, White Rock Baptist Church, all of those churches are in the area. They're having a summer discussion series. It's called Let's Talk History. And so it'll be 4 series, starting on May the 11th, May 25th, June the 8th, and June 22nd. But they're going to be doing an overview of the community. They're going to be talking about people and places, influences. This is just, you know, they want to help preserve the history of their community. And, you know, they're going to do these through collecting oral histories and all of these things. And they received a Make It More Happy grant from ERF to do this. So I just wanted to point this out, and I'll be facilitating the conversation. That's about it. That's all I can think of at the moment. Yes.
Yeah, in late June, so many of you are familiar with Robert Marsh, who was the art professor at Danville. He passed away last October. What I'm doing on behalf of the museum is going around the community and asking people who collected this art over the years to come together for an exhibit, which will be in late June. And some of those people said, well, you take all the art of God, we're loaning to you, and some of them sponsors. As a follow-up to that, one of his former students, who was an art professor in the Commonwealth, and spoke at his memorial service, said, why don't you have a legacy exhibit after his exhibit? And his students, who are now artists or teachers of art and so forth, would have an exhibit of their works to honor him. So late June for the Robert Marsh, probably sometime late September for the student legacy tour.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oh, sure, if you want to go ahead. Oh, you want me? So, good. Renee and we gave some input as well. We have been working on a QR history tour of the river district, kind of like if you've seen the one in the Old West End, where it's out in front of some houses, you can hit the QR code and get some information or pictures. And so that will be coming downtown. Do you know?
Today, so we can do the preservation on that goal we ordered last week, so.
Okay.
Got all those set up, all the data completed, so as long as we can get the fabrication done and get it in, we hope to get it done. So we've got 25 locations that we'll have throughout downtown. And hopefully that will grow, as we continue through the process.
Yeah, and some of them correspond with some of those, the stops in our district tour, and some are different, so each one has its kind of own flavor, so it'll be really great, and I'll keep. That'll go in our newsletter and everything once we have that official, so we can get the word out about that. So that'll be another fun way to just wander around the district, learn some cool. Yeah, thank you, I forgot to mention. Yeah, so with that, I think we're through for this morning. Thank you for coming. I'll let Renee take over for if you want to give your input and talk to the ambassadors and give more plain manual input. We also have some coffee and donuts, snacks, so feel free to go grab those and have a few minutes to talk to each other.
So yeah, make yourself at home, your numerous activities throughout, rest of the Sunday and Christie are through those. Like snacks in the back, restroom facility in the back, please. Make yourself at home, network, get to know one another if you don't already, like come see me with any questions, complaints, any of that. I'd be happy to talk to you. Right? Stay for money. Glad to be.
And before we sign off, online people, you can give your input on the website, and we'll be offering a recording of this later on if we need to go back and see anything. So thank you all for jumping on this morning. And this office is open during the week often, so if you can always stop by and if you have a few moments and give your input on that feedback, that'll be doing it. Thank you all. And you have a great day. Okay.